Hey, it's Yury Experience, and today we are talking about the fact that I like labels. Ooh, I can get a really lot of critique for this topic. So what are labels? In my personal opinion, these are some categories that we assign to people based on different reasons, being it appearance, being it some kind of a character, or maybe heritage or personal story, like what brought that person to that state where the person is currently in. And yes, by the way, it's in my opinion really important. We don't assign people to labels or categories, we assign categories to people. Why I think it is important? Because if we assign people to categories, we assume that all the people of this category are more or less same, which in my opinion isn't always true. It's actually not true in a lot of cases. In my head, each person has a list of categories that I assign to that person based on my experience with that person. For example, there's a friend of mine. He has white skin, he has curly hair, brown eyes. He has German nationality, and the way he was growing up is also rather German. He is not that tall, he is not that muscular, wears glasses, and he has a pretty religious family. Except for that, he is quite unpunctual in a lot of occasions and sometimes can be quite irresponsible, but he is actually very good at physics and math. And that's how pretty much every person is saved in my head. And I actually like to fill all of the gaps, fill all of the labels and categories, because that helps me to understand the person better. I am generally not the best person when it comes to emotions, when it comes to trust to other people. So for me, that is a way how I can handle myself so I can actually trust people. Today I've thought about really great comparison, in my personal opinion, of my state of mind. Imagine a library. You have a lot of books, and each book in this case represents one person. And I'm pretty sure you've read a book at least once, and every time there's a description of a character. There's like how the person looks like, what is his story prior to the moment, what are some character things that that person has. And this library in my head has a huge amount of books of different people where, like, in the beginning you have a description of a character and then a story how I see that character, how I felt about that character, how I lived together with that character through some things in my life. And I've never seen a book where you don't have a representation of a character somehow written down, because you cannot associate yourself with a character if you don't have a clear image of it. On the other hand, if you have two books and you have like pretty much same character description, that doesn't mean that your story with the character will be same. It's basically same about real books. Only because there are a lot of books about elves, that doesn't mean that all the books about elves are same and have same storyline and same story development and same character development and same characters. Only because appearance of a character and a character was defined, it doesn't mean that that character has specific way of life and will have same influence on the story. And same applies also to real life. Only because there are a lot of people with same nationality or religion or skin color or eye color or, I don't know, heritage. Only because there are people who has same experiences in their lives, that doesn't mean that they will develop themselves in the same kind of a person. I have seen a lot of people in my life from different cultures, different religions, different heritage, different countries. I lived in 4 countries. And always, freaking always, there were different people. There were people who were same, although they are from different countries. There are people who were completely different, although they are from same town, maybe same house. Only because two people have same characteristics, same appearance, and maybe even same heritage, it doesn't mean that they are the same person, that they will develop in the same person, that they will influence their life and life of other people in the same way. That is why I like labels. That is some kind of a structure that I need. I personally need it because of my character, because how I interact with people. It is easier for me to live with that than without that. However, that doesn't mean that I don't give people a chance and straight ahead make some assumptions about a person without knowing that person, without talking to that person, without, I don't know, knowing everything. To be honest with you, my assumptions about all the people that I don't know are same. They are dangerous for me. And if you are saying something about in terms of my skin color or people of the same skin color that I don't need to be afraid of them, please come to Russia. Like, really. Because my life in different countries brought me to that sense that I developed of not trusting people that just staying around. If a person is there and it just stays around, it's a potential danger for me. And that is why I handle accordingly. Still, I don't understand people who say I don't see color. Like, it is really just ignoring the whole heritage and culture of the person and most of the person's experiences. I do not get it. I think that every person's individuality depends also on appearance, on character, how other people interacted with that kind of appearance and character. And yes, it wasn't always in a great way, and yeah, we live not in an ideal society. Still, I don't see a reason to neglect all of that. That is why my end thought about that, or my recommendation maybe would be, don't be afraid of labels, be afraid of people who think that labels define people. As I told you at the very beginning, labels are assigned to people based on different factors and by different things and people and whatever. Sometimes you assign some labels to yourself. Still, only because there are some labels on the person, labels doesn't define the person. Labels describe the person. And they describe literally what they are saying. That I am a bearded person with brown hair, white skin, green, very beautiful eyes. I'm quite muscular, I'm tall, and I lived in 4 countries, have different experiences, and studied medical physics. I do drink vodka from time to time, but it's not because I'm from Ukraine or Russia, but because I do drink alcohol from time to time. And I do not drink beer, although I live in Germany, I just don't like the taste. Labels are not bad. People who think that labels define people are the wrong people to talk with. That's all. If you enjoyed the video, please drop a like. You can also subscribe to the channel. Also, if you have any topic suggestion, maybe some questions, write them down below in the comments. I will gladly answer them, or maybe I will do an independent video about that, or I will read about the topics that you are suggesting. I do not know everything, but I do know a lot. That's all for today, and I'll see you tomorrow.